literally cannot take my brows seriously right now. I feel like they look so crazy. I don't know what the deal is. Hey beauty babes, welcome to my channel. I'm Maria, aka Agape Love Girl. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I thought I would sit down and film a kind of a low-key playing with new or new to me makeup, as well as some forgotten favorites. Now, even though these are new-ish products or new to me products, this won't be a first impressions video. These are products that I have been using for the month. They are products from my makeup basket. I will share a few opinions on the products here and there throughout the video, but mostly I just wanted this video to be super low-key, where I'm just kind of showing these products in action so you can see for yourself what they look like and things like that. So then when I do have my review video, my beauty replay videos, you guys will have been able to see these products in action. Some of these products I have used on my channel already in previous videos, like my Faith Chats Get Ready With Me. I did use a lot of these products in that video as well, but I didn't really talk about the products. The focus wasn't on the products, it was mostly on my Faith Chat. So today I wanted to have a video where I talked a little bit more about the products, and then there are a few products in here that I haven't used yet on my channel that I wanted to be sure to give a feature here as well. Anyways, this is the completed look, as you can see. So if you'd like to see how I achieved this look, the products I used, and seeing them in action, we're getting right to it. Now I do plan to do my eyes first, but I am going to go ahead and put on some primer beforehand, just because I like to give my primer a good amount of time to set and absorb into my skin. So for that, I'm just going to be using the She Knows 24 Karat Elixir Serum Primer that's been in my basket for this month and the last month. I've really been enjoying it just because it's more of, well, it's a serum primer, so it's not like super thick. It absorbs into the skin really well. It's great for dry skin, which my skin has been super dry lately, so. And then I don't know about anybody else, but before I start my makeup, I do like to have something on my lips, like a lip balm or a lip gloss or something moisturizing on my lips, because my lips tend to always just get so dried out, especially when I'm doing my makeup. I don't know why. So I'm going to be using this Tarte Maracuja Glossy Lip Oil, and I do really like it. I think it's a really nice gloss. I don't really love the packaging though. It's like this brush tip applicator, which is not my favorite for glosses. And also this is like $15, which I feel like is kind of expensive for this packaging. I mean, I get it's Tarte, and Tarte is a high-end brand. It's more of an expensive brand, but still I just feel like this packaging just seems so cheap for that price. So I don't know. I do like it though. It's a really nice lip product. Even though it is a lip oil, it definitely feels more like a gloss, and it stays on the lips. It's pretty thick, and so I've been enjoying it, but I wouldn't say you need to run out and go get it or anything. It's nothing spectacular, but I have been enjoying it. And Tarte did send it over to me. They did send me over a few products. The Tarte products I'm going to be trying in today's video were all sent in PR. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and move on to the eyes, and as you can see, I do have my brows done, and I did clean them up with some concealer that I did bring down onto my lids, and now I'm just going to go ahead and go over that using the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. Alright, moving on to my eyes, I'm going to be using a new palette to me. Now this is actually an older palette, but is new to me. I recently purchased it from a brand called Dandelions Co. It is a small indie brand that sells on Etsy. The owner, his name is Daniel. And this is actually one of the indie brands I talked about wanting to try this year, so I did purchase this palette and a few singles from his brand. And I do plan on doing an interview and overall brand review coming up soon. So normally when I do these kind of videos where I'm doing my face, I'll usually film the eye tutorial separately so I can put it in a future video for the brand review, but I don't know, I just thought I would do a complete full face today. I just thought that would be more fun, and I do plan on doing some more looks and tutorials for that video in the future. So anyways, this is the palette. It is the winter palette, and I thought it'd be fun to play with the green and that really beautiful blue today. So I am going to go ahead and go right into the shade Mistletoe. So I'm going to take that on a small tapered blending brush. This is the Smith 230, and I'm going to bring that on the inner and outer corners of my eyes. I'm going to go ahead and go for a halo eye today. I don't want to do anything super dramatic or difficult, just something to play with the color and show off this palette. But once I got that color mostly packed down on my lid, I'm going to go ahead and take a clean, fluffier blending brush just to go ahead and blend a little bit more and diffuse that color out, just soften it up a little bit. So I'm going to be using the Beauty Junkies Pro Tapered Blending Brush to do this. Alright, so next up I do want to go into this blue shade called Jack Frost. Now this is really pretty. It looks like it's going to be very sparkly. I feel like it's going to be more so like a topper. I haven't used this shadow yet, but I do want to try it first on its own without any kind of enhancement to it, just so we can see how it applies. So I'm going to go ahead and take this flat shader brush. This one is from Bodyography. Pick up quite a bit of product and try to lay that down right in the center of my lid. Ooh, so that actually shows up quite nicely. Very, very pigmented, really, really pretty. I thought it would be a little bit more sheer, so I'm pleasantly surprised by that. But I am kind of curious how it would look with a little bit of setting spray, just to really get it to pop a little bit more. Like, this is stunning on its own, but I would like to see how this would look with a little bit of setting spray. Okay, ooh, that's beautiful. I really like that. It was beautiful on its own, but that little bit of setting spray just really enhanced the shine. Really, really beautiful. Alright, so I think this looks really, really pretty. It is a very, very simple. I think I do just want to see if I can add a little bit of depth on the inner and outer corners. So I'm going to take this small blending brush. This is from Morphe. It's their M562. Normally you guys always see me using the Solazzi mini crease fluff. This is similar, except for this is synthetic hairs, which I don't like as much, but anyways, I'm going to be grabbing this one, and I'm going to go into the shade Fur, which is the darker of the matte greens in this palette. I feel like these greens are pretty similar actually, even though this one is a little bit darker, but I'm going to see if I can add just a little bit of depth with this shade. So I'm going to bring this shade to the inner and outer corners, just lightly blending into that blue. I'm not sure if that's making much of a difference, but hey, I'm giving it a go. Alright, now with that first blending brush I used and the very first eyeshadow shade I used, Mistletoe, I'm just gonna blend that onto my lower lash line. Alright, now because this is such a simple look, I do think I'm going to go ahead and do what I like to call a reflection halo eye. I don't know if that's the correct name for it or if it even has a name, but it's basically where I do kind of the halo eye look on the lower lash line as well, so it's a little bit of a reflection, at least that's what it reminds me of. And then I will go ahead and use that small blending brush just to add a touch more of the green shadow, just to narrow out that blue a little bit more. Alright, so that's going to do it for my eyes for now. I may go back into this palette later and pop some of that white shade into my inner corner, but I would like to move on to the rest of my face first. So, since I already primed my face earlier, I'm going to go right into foundation. I'm going to be using the Tarte Found Sealer. I got this shade 35G Medium Golden, and this has been the main foundation I've been using all month, and interestingly enough, I still haven't quite decided what I think about it, so I don't think I'm going to share much of my opinion now. You'll be able to hear my thoughts and opinions in a full review in a beauty replay coming up soon, but for now at least you can see it in action and kind of judge for yourself on what you think it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and do 2 pumps on the back of my hand, and I'm going to apply it with a duo fiber brush just to kind of lightly spread it around my face. And then I will go ahead and go in with a sponge to fully blend it in. The sponge I'm going to be using is one that was sent to me from Tarte Cosmetics as well, along with this foundation. Now the duo fiber brush does disperse the foundation quite evenly and nicely onto my skin, and I actually like using the duo fiber brush with this foundation because I feel like you can get a little of the product to go a lot longer way. Like I said, I use 2 pumps. Normally if I were just applying this foundation with this sponge alone, I would need at least 3 pumps to fully cover my face. So I like doing this kind of combination and then going in with this sponge just to soften everything up, make sure there aren't any streaks. This duo fiber brush doesn't leave too many streaks at all, but I do just like going over with this sponge just to make sure everything is fully blended and just looks really, really nice and seamless. I will say that what's interesting about this foundation is that it is more of a light to medium coverage foundation, which I think is kind of interesting because the name Found Sealer sounds like foundation and concealer in one, which makes me think it would give maybe medium to full coverage, but this is definitely more so on the light coverage type of foundation. It can be built up to medium coverage, but overall it really just is a light or light medium kind of coverage foundation. I like it. I think it's a nice foundation, but I will say I definitely miss using my favorite, the Pure Cosmetics Love Your Selfie foundation. I just feel like nothing compares to that foundation, so I may be a bit biased, but anyways, you guys can kind of judge for yourself on what you think it looks like on me. I feel like it definitely evens out my skin, even though if you were to look up close, you can still see a lot of my imperfections and things like that. So it's a nice foundation, but I'm not in love with it, we'll just say that. Next up for concealer, I don't have a new product, but this is an old, kind of forgotten favorite, and this has been the concealer I've been using the very most this month. As soon as I started using it for the first time again, I was just blown away and like, wow, I forgot that I love this concealer so much. And what's really wonderful is that it's a very affordable concealer. So this is the e.l.f. HD concealer. I know a lot of people really love the new e.l.f. Camo concealer, which I do have that in my makeup basket as well this month, but I used that I think maybe once or twice and just found myself not loving it as much as I love the HD concealer. This one is just very lightweight and still gives really great coverage. It honestly kind of reminds me, when I think about it, of the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer, which I do believe has been discontinued, but that was a favorite concealer of mine. And I also have that in my makeup basket still because I'm trying to use it up since it's been discontinued. But I found myself reaching for this concealer so much more. I find that even though it's very similar in as being like lightweight and good coverage as the Urban Decay Naked Skin, I feel like this actually gives a little bit better coverage while still being very thin. I just love it so much. So anyways, this has been my go-to and just honestly a forgotten favorite that I think is wonderful. So if you're looking for an affordable, great concealer that isn't too thick or too dry or too dewy or anything like that, this is a really great one. Definitely recommend. And if anybody's curious, I am using the shade Fair. Alright, next up for powder, again, I don't have a new powder product to try, but this is an old favorite that I haven't used in quite a long time, but wanted to put it in my makeup basket this month to give it a go again and remind myself why I love it. But this is the Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder. Now, while I do still think this is a wonderful powder, one of my favorites still, I've managed to live without it and been just fine without it with other powders that I typically use on the daily that are a little bit more affordable. But this is a really great powder, especially for how I'm going to be using it today. So what I'm going to be doing is pouring a little bit of the powder in the cap and then taking the damp sponge that I have been using. I'm going to go ahead and dip that into the powder and then I will press that under my eyes. Now this is going to seem a little bit like baking, but I don't really consider it baking. Yes, I am going to be using some excess powder, but what I'm going to do is go ahead and press as much of that powder as I can under my eyes. Then I will go ahead and put some of that into my smile lines as well as my T-zone. These are the areas that I just feel like need the most setting, and because this foundation that I'm using, the Tarte Film Sealer, is a little bit more of a dewy finish, I just feel like it needs to be set a little bit heavier than I typically need to or would with other foundations. So once I place and press that powder into those areas, I am going to go ahead and take a dual fiber brush just to blend and diffuse any excess powders that is left in those areas and disperse it around the rest of my face. And like I said, this is the perfect powder to do that because this powder is so lightweight and finely milled and it doesn't get too heavy on the skin, at least for me and my personal preference. I'm sure this isn't necessary for everybody to do, but this is a technique that I do like to do occasionally. It's something that I actually used to do a long time ago and I really love the technique, but the last couple of months I've been trying to use a less powder, but like I said, with this foundation I just feel like it needs to be set a little bit better and a little bit heavier. So I really love this powder for this technique and with this foundation. Alright, next up I'm going to do something that again may not seem super necessary, but you guys have seen me do it before in other videos. I'm going to go ahead and set my face now. I like to do this because I feel like once I have my foundation, concealer, and powder on, if I use some kind of setting spray to really set those products, it gives a very smooth, even canvas to prepare my face for bronzer, blush, and highlight and things like that. So anyways, that's what I'm going to do. And for that, I'm going to be using the Tarte Maracuja Miracle Mist setting spray. This is a new setting spray and I've actually been really enjoying it. Now it sprays out like an aerosol. It looks like an aerosol, so you get that continuous mist, but it's actually technically not an aerosol sprayer, which I think is really cool. You guys know that I absolutely love the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist for the fact that of the way that it sprays. I think it's wonderful. And I think I kind of like this one a little bit better just because it doesn't give as dewy of an effect of a setting spray. It's much more of a natural setting spray, I think, but this one is a little bit more expensive, so there is that. Moving on to bronzer, I do have a new bronzer. This isn't actually new, like new to the market, but it's new to me. I've actually had it for quite a while, but hadn't really tested it out, so I wanted to put it in my makeup basket this month to see what I thought about it. And this is the Urban Decay Beached Bronzer in the shade Sunkissed. Now I did check on their website to see if there were any other shades. There is one other shade, I think it's called Bronzed. The shade I have, Sunkissed, is too light for me and a little bit too cool toned. I feel like it just pulls very pink on my skin. And so I think I will end up kind of decluttering this, maybe passing along to my daughter or another friend who might enjoy this, or it would be a better match for them. But I wanted to at least test it out on camera so you guys can see how it looks. It is a really nice, finely milled bronzer, and so I like the way it like looks and applies, but the color is just not the best match for me. But anyways, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and apply it today on camera so you guys can see the color and what it looks like on me, and then I may just go ahead and color adjust with another bronzer from my makeup basket, but we shall see how it looks. Now you guys all probably know by now that I do tend to use bronzers for my contour. I like warmer toned bronzers for my skin. For my skin tone, that's what works. Cooler toned actual contour products tend to just look very dirty on me, and so anyways, that's why I just feel like this is just a little too cool toned for my preference for a bronzer, especially if I'm going to use it kind of to contour. So anyways, enough of my rambling, you guys can just see for yourself. I honestly feel like this could be like even a blush shade for me. Alright, so I feel like on camera it doesn't look too terrible, at least from my viewfinder. It doesn't look too bad. It is a little, because it's lighter, it is a little bit more of a natural looking bronzer, but I feel like it's one of those color, like I feel like it's more of a natural, like I almost got sunburned or I have a slight sunburn kind of look just because it has that pink tone to it. So I don't love it. It's not terrible, but it's not quite my vibe, I guess. And you'd think I could just like look at the shade and think like, oh, that's not gonna work for me, but I've been pleasantly surprised in the past of looking at shades and kind of misjudging them, how they apply. They may look a certain way in the pan and then apply much better or much more appropriately for your skin tone than you would think. Like one example is the Revlon Skin Lights bronzer, which you guys know if you watch my videos on Revlon and any videos from the past month, that I talked about how this one surprised me. I thought it would be too light for me. I didn't think it would work for my skin tone, and it actually did work quite well for my skin tone. So you could be surprised by colors and how they may turn out on your skin. So I wanted to give this a shot, and it just, it's not terrible, but I don't think it's really suited for my skin tone. I feel like the lights that I'm using, these studio lights, are making it look a little bit better maybe than it actually is in real life. But anyways, I did want to demo it so you can see it. It's a very nice bronzer, a nice powder, just the color is not right for me. So I am going to go ahead and just use my Revlon Skin Lights bronzer just to kind of adjust it just a touch, and I'll just kind of speed right through that. Next up for blush, I'm going to be using the Zoeva Premier palette. This was sent to me from a friend. I believe she got it in BoxyCharm. So this has 2 highlighters and then a blush. I have used this on camera already before in my Faith Chat video, but I wasn't talking about the product, so I figured I would show it again. Well, and this is only new blush that I have in my basket this month. So anyways, I thought I would show it again and talk about it. This little palette is actually a really nice palette. The highlighters are really, really beautiful. Everything's very soft and very creamy. This color of blush, it's called Curtain Call. It's very, very pigmented, so I am actually going to be using a dual fiber brush to apply it. I'm going to try to apply it as sparingly and lightly as I can, because like I said, it's very pigmented and it's very creamy, so the color sticks and pops right away. But I have been enjoying this palette quite a bit this month. Whew, and you can see even just going in lightly with that dual fiber brush, the blush is still very, very pigmented. So I'm going to go in with that other dual fiber brush I was using with the powder and just kind of lightly sweep over that just to soften it up and diffuse it out a little bit more. Alright, that's much better. And I just have to say again, I just love the color of this blush. I think it's so, so beautiful. Alright, now for highlighter. I actually have 3 new highlighters in my basket this month. So I'm going to show them to you, but I'm only obviously going to be using one today. So one I already just showed you that came in the Zoeva palette, but I did already use it, at least this gold one, on camera in, like I mentioned, my Faith Chats video, so you could at least see it in action there. So I don't want to use that one again today. And then I also had the Fenty Trophy Wife highlighter, and this is something I also already used on camera for another video and tutorial that is not live yet but will be soon, so you guys will be able to see that in action. That video I'm pretty sure won't go up until May because we already are so close to the end of this month, April, so you will probably see a few videos next month that feature products from my April makeup basket, but just know they were filmed this month. So anyways, you will see this in action in a video coming up. And I'm actually wearing it. That's the highlighter that I'm wearing in the video I posted recently, Makeup I Want But Probably Won't Buy video. I don't know if you could really tell, but if you look, I'm wearing it in that video so you can see it. So anyways, the next highlighter I have, and I've used this a couple times this month, just not on camera yet that I can recall. I really don't think so. So I really want to at least have one video that featured it because it's a really interesting highlighter. And it is this stroboscope highlighter, and the brand is called Moonplay. Now this is something I've had for quite a while and rediscovered it in my office when I kind of rearranged and reorganized my office. I was like, I found a drawer that I had set aside new products that it's funny, we're gonna go on a little tangent, but I had this drawer in another drawer, like stand-up drawer in my office that I had specifically for new products that I got in, that I would put it in that drawer so I could remember to use it and go to it for new products. Well, I kind of completely forgot about that drawer and discovered quite a few new-ish products that I hadn't tried before, and started putting them in my other set of drawers where I keep products that I reach for, you know, for my makeup baskets and things like that. So anyways, that's where this came from, but I had it for a long time. And this is a really interesting product. Now it is a highlighter. The shade I have is Vow, but when I looked it up, I had to look up this brand because I'd never heard of it before. The brand is called Moonplay. And these powders are supposed to be multi-use. From what I read, it says you can use them as a setting powder, like all over the face. But this is so shimmery, like I don't think I could imagine actually using it all over my face. So I will use it as a highlighter, you guys will see. But let me just read this info that's on the packaging so you guys kind of know a little bit more about it. I just thought it was very interesting. So it says, what is Stroboscope Hyper Flash Orb Powder? It's the very first of its kind, a multitasking highlight powder, and so much more. Moonplay offers rainbow reflect technology with smart nano optics. Stroboscope is a fusion of light and chromatasy developed by a master colorist with over 25 years of experience. This cutting-edge invention was created using only the finest color technology currently available. Designed from scratch at the Moonplay Studios LA and created in our world-class lab, we bring you the best in high-performance luxury. Stroboscope highlighting powder allows you to easily create high beam strobe effects, hide and correct skin imperfections, and so much more. How to use. For an out-of-this-world orb finish, use as a setting powder. For a 3D effect, lightly feather over foundation using a large powder brush, then layer Vow over cheeks, nose, and brow bone. To finish lip color or gloss, dab with finger. For an overall glow, mix with any foundation, concealer, or primer. Stroboscope gives you the opportunity to decide how to individualize and enhance your look. So a very interesting product. I think there is definitely a demographic who would enjoy using this as a setting powder or mixing with foundation. It's definitely going to give you a gorgeous glow. I just could not commit to that for this video, but I do want to show you how it looks on the cheeks because it is a very stunning powder. So with that application, I think you can see the amazing strobe effect that it truly does have, but also why I don't think I would feel comfortable putting that all over my face as a setting powder. It is so glowy. It's absolutely beautiful. It's definitely out of this world. I definitely think it has a certain appeal to it. It's very interesting and unique, but yeah, not necessarily the look I'm going for today. I'd actually love to know if any of you guys have heard of this brand, because before this product, I'd never heard of this brand. I did end up following them on Instagram after I pulled this out from my makeup basket this month, but it's not a brand that is like I've ever seen on my radar. It's so strange. I'd love to know if you've heard of this brand, if you've tried their products, what you guys think of their stroboscope highlighters. Like, do you use them as setting powder? Let me know the tea if you have tried it. But anyways, that's pretty much it for the face. I am going to go ahead and set my face once again with the Tarte Maracuja Miracle Mist setting spray, and then we'll move back on to my eyes so we can finish those up and wrap up this look. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to go ahead and go into that white shade from this palette. It is called Snow Cap. I'm going to take it on the small blending brush and pop that to the inner corner of my eyes. And now for a fun pop, I'm going to be using the LA Girl Shockwave Neon Eyeliner in the shade Fresh, which is a minty blue-green kind of a shade. Alright, really quickly off camera, I did throw some brow gel in my brows, put my hair down, and put some earrings in. And looking at myself in the viewfinder, I feel like I look so crazy. I don't know if it's just the extreme highlighter, which normally I'm not opposed to extreme highlighter. I honestly feel like if you guys watch Teresa is Dead, she always says when she, especially certain highlighters, that she feels like a sexy alien something. I'm not going to say it on my channel, but if you know, you know. That's kind of what I'm feeling like right now. But I think also the bronzer is really throwing me off. I feel like I just look, I don't know. So I am looking forward to kind of wrapping up the eyes. I think once I put on some mascara and lashes, it's really going to complete this look and bring it all together. So I'm going to do that. And I normally don't really talk about the mascaras a lot that I'm using, but this one is actually an old favorite of mine that I feel like a lot of people talk bad about because it's so old school and it's so I don't know, just very old school, and people think it's not that good, but I actually think it's a really great mascara. And this is the Great Lash Mascara from Maybelline. Now, I use the curved wand, and so I don't know if that's kind of different than the standard plain wand, but I really like the formula of this. I like the curved wand, and so I just want to mention it really quickly and show it some love. But I've actually had this for a little bit, but it's been a mascara that I kind of had stuck in my purse and forgot about it. I often like to keep random bits of makeup in my purse to use if I'm out and about and just need touch up or whatever the case may be. And I was cleaning out my purse and found it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna use this. But anyways, not to put too much focus on my mascara or lashes right now, because I am gonna be putting on some falsies as well. So I just wanted to give it a little shout out and give it its own little moment to shine. Now, I'm not even sure if you're gonna really tell how great this mascara is because I'm not doing them up like I normally would. I'm just doing kind of a light coat since, like I said, I am putting some lashes on, but trust me, that's a great mascara. Anyway, so the lashes I'm going to be using today are new lashes as well, but these are the lashes that I've been using the majority of this month. But I wanted to mention them again here. This is a brand new lash brand that was started by a woman named Veronica. I do believe she also has a YouTube channel here. I'll link her channel and I'm going to link her website, but she is a Christian and she wanted to start a lash brand that was based off of or inspired by the Proverbs 31 woman. I just think it's really neat for her to have started this faith-based brand, and she did reach out to me knowing that I'm a Christian about sending me these products and also joining her ambassador program. So she did give me a discount code. So if you are interested in trying these lashes, you can use code AgapeLoveGirl for 25% off. Currently there are 8 different styled lashes, and the lashes I'm going to be wearing today are in this style Favored. The packaging I think is really cute. I love that you're getting 2 pair of lashes in there, and I don't know, I just think it's all styled really nicely. The lashes themselves are very, very comfortable. They give a little bit more of a glam look, but they are very lightweight and easy to wear. So anyways, just want to give them a quick shout out as well. Alright, lashes are on, and because this look is a little bit more out of this world, I thought it would be appropriate to do a little star stamp. So I'm going to be using my star stamp from Lottie London before I move on to a lipstick. Alright, and lastly for lipstick, this is a new product that I got this month. Now, if you watched my Revlon video that I did with almost a full face of Revlon, you would see me swatch a few of these and know that I fell in love with them. But these are the Super Lustrous Shine Glass lipsticks from Revlon. And I'm going to be using the shade Glossed Up Rose. I just love these lipsticks so much. I love that they're kind of like a balm gloss lipstick in one. They're just so comfortable to wear. They give a beautiful shine. They give a nice wash of color, and I've just been really loving them since I tried them. So of course I had to give them another feature in this video. Alright, and that's going to wrap it up for this look and this video playing around with new or new to me makeup products and a few old favorites. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and seeing these products in action and just hearing some of my thoughts on them and things like that. I hope that through this video you at least learned something new about these products, seeing them in action, have some thoughts to think about, or maybe you were inspired or reminded of some old products in your collection that were favorites that you haven't used in a while and were inspired to bring them back out and use them some more. If you have tried any of these products that I was using today, I would love to know your thoughts and opinions on them. I'm sure anybody else watching this video might love to hear more thoughts and opinions on them as well. So definitely don't hesitate to leave a comment and share your thoughts and opinions on these products or just this look or this video or whatever else. I always love hearing from you guys. But anyways, with all that being said, I just want to thank you so much for watching, and until next time, much love and hugs to you. Bye, beauty babes. Mwah.